Hi, welcome to 151 Garage. I'm Sean.
I'm Jill.
And today we are actually in our garage working on a car rather than the heat outside. It is extremely nice being in the garage, so let me put it that way. Now, what we have done is, in a previous video, we removed this fender to install the Advanced Fiberglass Concepts fenders. Now, they are the 5-inch wider fenders. Yes, it does look goofy right now with the stock tires on it. This isn't a Sasquatch Bronco, it's just a regular, but we plan on getting stuff to fit the wheels or to fit the fenders rather than make a mistake and have to buy new wheels and tires and stuff. But the one thing we wanted to do is see how the fitment was on this, the front fender. It's actually not bad. Now, I'll go through some of the things we've noticed, and this isn't a video on how we're going to put it on. We will put the other fender on the video, maybe later part of this video, but it'll show you some things that we've noticed that we had to adjust or tweak, or we will have to tweak. Now I'll grab the camera. Now, as you can tell right now, it's all on there. The inner liner, I do have the inner liners for it, which are fiberglass as well. It's kind of hard to see it. I'll show you a little bit better later on when we put it all together. Oh, there we go. Yep, right there. Now, the one thing here is it sticks out a little bit too far, but I think there's spacers down here. They're riv nuts with spacers actually built in. I think we have to remove, and I'll show you when we get on the other side, because it does stick out quite a bit. The other thing is, let me see. Oh, before I go any further, let me tell you, before you take the fenders off, you do have to remove the crash bars. No, we have to remove that too. We have to remove the crash bars. And let me see that piece right there. This right here goes basically right here, and I'll show you where it goes on the other side. Now, what we're going to have to do is cut it right here and reinstall it, because a mounting point for the fender, I believe, is right here. That's something we're going to have to do. We'll have to cut this off, as well as how we have to put this all together right here. They have a real good technique of how to put this in there, especially when the piece goes around the front underneath the grill. But if you go to, I'll show you on the other fender, the bracket I'm talking about, this bracket right here. Now, what you're going to have to do is line up everything and put your fender right here. It's easier to put it in because it's not a straight shot to put that bolt in. It's kind of like an angle, so you don't want to cross thread it. Put it in by hand off, and then put the bolt this way straight on. This bolt going this way is a straight shot. This bolt here is not a straight shot. Also, as you can tell, I removed this because I had to get the fender off. That's how I got the fender out, is remove this the crash bar. Now, this is the piece I was talking about right here. This I'll have to cut, not the cable, but at least the plastic piece. I'll have to cut the plastic piece right here to be able to put that fender, because it does go close to the body right here, and it will hit. It will not go all the way back. It'll actually sit like that far out before you can push it back. Now, we are going to have to remove this, and we will remove that bracket, as well as drill all the holes. We do need to do a little bit of alignment for the hood, because when I dropped the hood down, it was a little bit farther over this way, or sorry, it was farther over that way than this way. So we'll have to adjust the hood when we get to that point, when we get the second fender on.
Aftermarket parts, which are never gonna fit.
Yeah.
Like they should.
Anyways, it's not too bad.
But yeah, we had
flush.
To draw out a hole, make this one a little bit bigger so we can scoot that in. There's going to be quite a bit of modification to the parts.
Oh, the one thing I did notice, so right here, you can see how thick it is right there. What it is it's not necessarily thick, it's that it, instead of going straight like this and going up, it goes like this and angles out. So I'm gonna have to trim that off to smooth it out. That way I get the same amount of clearance. Because right now, it's good all the way down, except for right about there, which is where it starts pivoting this
out,
way.
yeah.
So we'll have to thin that out a little bit. We are gonna put the other fender on.
Did you want to tell them about the rib nuts down there?
Oh, yeah, let me show you the rib nuts real quick. If you guys can't see, hopefully you can, there's two rib nuts right here. Now they do have a huge spacer on it. Let me see if I can get the camera in a little bit better. See how thick they are? So that right there needs to come out. So what I'm gonna end up doing is taking this off, drilling those two out, putting my own rib nuts in, because I do have the same rib nuts just without that big spacer, and then see if that works a little bit better, see if it tucks in the bottom side of the panel a little bit closer to the body. We'll see. Now what we will do is we will show you kind of the process of us going and putting the other fender on. We'll kind of do speed through a lot of stuff. If there's any issues that we notice on the other side, if it's the same, we'll show you, we'll stop and tell you, kind of give you an idea. This is not a DIY friendly thing. We just know what we're doing. She was in the body shop business for a while. Me, I've just been working and building cars since I was a little kid with my brothers and stuff like that. So my favorite pastime. But please enjoy the nice garage. Better lighting.
Cooler temperatures.
Cooler temperatures, don't have neighbors mowing. It's very nice. I've been out here all day, which is what I absolutely love. Got the TV in the background playing some music that won't get me demonetized because it won't be on when we're videoing. But other than that, you know.
The TV will be on. The sound will just be omitted.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll show you the process of that and show you what we ran into.
And how we fix it.
Yeah. Okay. See you then. Okay, now that we're back, it's been a little bit. I was sick with COVID. She has really bad allergies right now, as you can tell by her voice.
Yeah.
We are going to choose to go ahead and remove this, the rock rail, because during installation we found out that it's going to be hard to put those bolts in to actually get the get the fender on. So we're going to remove the rock rail. We're going to remove this piece right here, and we are going to remove that when we go to put the fender on, but we're not going to remove it right now. Actually, she's going to remove it. So let's go ahead and get that. Now these right here are 13 millimeter, and then the bottom is a 13 and a 10. It's a 13 bolt going up, and then two 10 millimeter nuts going this way on every one of the brackets. And there's 3 different brackets down there. So
Awesome.
have fun.
Thank you for loosening those up for me.
They're all broken. Yeah, those are long. Those are really long freaking screws.
I was smart enough to put my hair that I cut into a bun so I don't roll it over.
So it exposes all that. You can take off that right there. The bolt should be loose. By the way, whenever you take off this piece right here, I'm talking this piece, it is tight all the way through, almost like they Loctited the entire section of thread. I don't know why it's so tight, but I went ahead and loosened it mostly for Jill because even I was getting worn out from that. Now it does kind of go in an angle this way. There you go. I put a short extension on it because it keeps your fingers away from being cut up on that plastic right there.
Yeah. The plastic is
well,
actually sharp.
a deep well actually barely fits. Let's see that.
Oh, there's another one. Okay, so there's two.
There's
one
three.
Here. Oh, there's three?
And there's one back. Watch out. Right there. So there's one
okay.
here, one there, and one here. This is how long that bolt is. And all this bolt does is hold that bracket on to be able to connect the inner liner in. That's all that bracket holds is stuff. And that's how beefy the bolts are that go in there.
So you have some clips right in here that are just holding it on. And it seems like the only clip that's in there is right there.
So the only thing holding it on is that. So what you have is
this little piece right here.
Yeah, so that right there goes in this hole, and all it does is go in and down.
Yeah. Yeah,
There
it's
you
like
go.
a little shelf hook,
Yeah.
basically, but it's right there for that hole.
Now come up here real quick.
There we go.
Now this is the only piece you need. Sorry about the mess. This is the only piece you need. So what you do is you cut 150 out, go up this way. All you're gonna do is cut from this line out, off, and that's what you end up getting. So with the power of editing, you go from this to this. So all you need is this piece. This piece you will no longer need. We're not gonna put this piece on just yet until we get the fender on, because we want to make sure that this isn't interfering with it. You should be able to just put this in there with the fender in. So, okay, bag all the hardware up. Okay, I got all of them. Yeah, all the bolts for this stuff. These are the only two pieces we need. These pieces we will not need just yet.
Here, close this. So we end up cutting ourselves.
And we'll be right back with the fender. Okay, while she's holding it, we went ahead and marked all the bolt holes that we need to drill out. Now there is markings in here, as you can tell. You have a little indentation right here where the X is, and a little indentation here where there isn't. Same with here. There's one with and one without. And
we added those.
all these,
We added the X's.
yeah, we added the X's. All these are the ones that I need to drill out. For the reason being, we've already put this one in. We have bolt here, bolt here, bolt here. There is a spot right here where you have to put this in, which is just an alignment pin, and then obviously those bolts there. Here and here do not have bolt holes in them. They're added for whatever. Even the fender doesn't, it does have those holes, it just doesn't have anything in them. So there's no reason to drill them out if there's no reason to actually put anything in there just yet. We'll go ahead and set up the camera, drill out everything, and then go from there. Have the handy drill, have my handy bit, Now we do have the step bits. These right here.
Yeah, we found that to be a lot easier than
A lot easier than a drill bit.
Yeah.
Get one of these. These are just a cheap setup at Amazon.
I like it.
Absolutely wonderful. For fiberglass, perfect. Anything else? I don't know yet. they are the
We
one
haven't
of
used it
the
yet
cheaper
for
sets
anything
out there. Yeah, they do come in a different set, different sizes. As you can tell, there's multiple different sizes. I was using one of these. I ended up using the little bit bigger. That way it goes a little bit faster, but they're good for what they are. Fiberglass, it goes through fiberglass like that, so.
Close the door.
And go ahead and take these out. We are drilling over a trash can, that way we don't just do it right over the floor.
Yeah, because, you know, we have our dog in here.
Yeah.
We have Diesel in here. He's on the floor.
So if you guys don't know, this is the one that's behind the liner. Or if you don't take it out, it gets stuck. You're gonna end up yanking it and breaking the fender or breaking the bracket on there. Okay, so what we're going to do for now is we're going to tighten the top ones down to see where everything lies, and then go from there. Tighten it down just a little bit, not super loose.
Now with every aftermarket part, they're not going to fit 100% right off.
No.
So
There is alignment you're going to have to do. We already know that we're going to have to push in the fender on the other side, which includes realigning the door. There is connections inside the door that you're going to have to loosen up and push the door in. We'll get to that point and we'll show you how to do that. It won't be today. We're just trying to line up the fender and make sure all the bolts line up somewhat. We can adjust everything later. This is what the guys get paid to do. So if you get somebody to do it, they'll get all this stuff. This is what you're paying for. So this shows you just how much the installment cost is worth, because you don't have to do all this stuff.
yep.
We just like doing it. We like misery.
And remember on the paint video where I talked about, you know, all 3 different stages of paint, and how the prices could fluctuate to go higher. Expect that with this, because aftermarket parts are a pain in the butt to realign, to adjust, to alter. It takes a lot of time. These guys honestly don't get paid enough.
No. I have the utmost respect for the people who do this. I've done it in the past on my own vehicles. This really is.
And to get a good tech, yeah, it's expensive.
A good tech's worth it. They'll make sure all this stuff's lined up. We're just doing it because we actually like this. I like working on my own vehicle. The only thing I will not do is paint it.
Yeah.
They'll do the finishing up, touch-up work, which they'll knock out all the sanding and all the edges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's good. And then they'll paint it. That's all them. Good painter.
Oh, you want a
Is
really
worth
good
it.
painter, especially when it comes to the color black, because black is, it's a very difficult color to paint because your bodywork has to be spot on. If it's not prepped properly, if your body work isn't straight, you're going to see it. And it's going to be very blatant and in your face if you do not. Whereas white, you can kind of get away with it just a little bit.
So find a good painter, find a good body guy if you're not going to do it yourself.
Make sure that you go and see their work ahead of time. Any good reputable body shop will let you see their work, even if it's in progress. That way you have an idea of what you're getting yourself into, because this isn't cheap. So you do want to get your money's worth.
Our painter has been waiting for these for quite some time. He keeps asking us, he wants to come take a look at them. We're planning on getting this within a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It would have been by now, but the fact that
We were both
kind of sick. Thanks to work for sending me to a class that got me sick. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It is 100%. I'll never go to a class like that again. But right now, we already know we have an alignment issue right here. We're gonna have to loosen up the door because I don't want to pull the fender out anymore because it's gonna leave a gap right there. And when we close the hood, we'll let you know. We'll let you see what we're talking about. I'll end up unbolting the door at the top and pushing it in. The bottom looks pretty good, but when we end up pushing it in, it'll kind of bring out the bottom of this. This doesn't look too bad right here. And I think when we end up pushing this in, this will pop out a little bit and it'll line up right here. I wonder if that's what's going to do with the other side.
Yeah, I do want to say on the gaps on your body panels, from factory, they're not all going to be perfect. So just FYI, the only thing the body shop is responsible for is to get as close to factory as possible. So the gap may not be 100%. So if you do take it to a shop and do this, just keep that in mind. They'll do their best to get it as best as they can, but some gappage is allowed.
It's not perfect. Yeah, there's a variant in the gap. The gap's actually pretty good, other than the paint, or not the paint, but the tape right here. Open that door slowly. Okay, so don't open it anymore.
Yeah, this is
we'll put a piece of tape across this. And what we want to look at is show you this right here. So watch when she opens this. Now, hang on just a second. You can see right here it's a little bit bigger, but when you look this way, it looks pretty decent size. The fact that this is pushed in further, open that door, right there it's going to connect. Yeah, so the reason we have tape here is to make sure that it stays from getting scratched or chipped or anything like that. So that's protecting the paint. What we'll do is we'll end up taking this fender off, and then we'll end up pushing the door in just a little bit. We'll take a measurement and then push the door in just a little bit, and hopefully this right here actually sticks out a little bit. This right here sticks out. It'll actually bring the door out a little bit on the bottom, so it'll actually line it up. This stuff right here, you can do this afterwards, but you want to make sure that it's done correctly beforehand. That way, in case you do need to trim anything, you don't have to worry about it. So let's lower this. We are, watch out. Now, I am gonna lift this up a little bit. I'm gonna put a couple washers back here to lift this hood up just a little bit. But right now, I like it here. It's a little bit too far out there. Right there would be perfect. So, where's that wrench? Diesel, did you take it?
Hey, it's right here.
Oh, it's right.
It's on the tire.
Okay. Now that we have this. So the good thing about this is you can actually tighten this up to get it where you want. Right there. That's good.
Yeah, line looks good. Mine looks really good.
So as you can see right now, I haven't tightened the ones up there. As you can see right here, this line is really nice. Now, with the alignment that it is right now, this right here is good. This right here sticks out, which we'll have to end up unbolting this and pushing the door in. We'll worry about that in a little bit. And then this right here is good right here, but I think when we push this in, this bottom portion, which sticks in too much, this portion sticks in, will come out just a little bit and actually align it real good. This right here looks pretty good. I'm kind of curious. Now, note this gap right here. Now come over here. See this gap? This gap is absolutely huge. You can actually see the hardware in there, right there, and right there, because this is too far over. But this door is aligned perfectly, which means when I push this in to fill the gap in, I'm gonna have to push this door in on the top as well, which in turn will do the same thing, probably pull this back out. So we're gonna try to do everything in our power not to drill out those rivets in the bottom, the ones that are underneath this. But right now, actually looks pretty good. Now we do have the fender liner we're gonna put on a later date. We just wanna make sure we get this one set up real well. We are gonna pull this fender off. We are gonna show you at a later video how to put this on, how to adjust it, and how to push that in to align it to whatever fender you put on. It might not be this fender, it might be a different fender, but at least you'll know how to align it. Okay? Now this is going to be more of a vlog video because
This is going to be a very long process, and for us to try and do like an entire procedure is going to be just,
yeah, so this vehicle is more going to be a vlog. We're going to do this bits and pieces where other parts we'll do all in one. We'll show you as we go. We'll do it all on a vlog style for this, but I only have one day to work, and it's a Saturday. Today is actually Sunday. I'm doing this after work because yesterday I was still kind of under the weather and we didn't have time.
Yeah. And then I
please-
got sick yesterday.
Yeah, she got sick yesterday, allergies. So please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hope to
Hope
see
you
you
like
next
this
video.
kind of content, and make sure that you turn on the notifications. That way you don't miss our uploads.
There's a lot of stuff that we're doing to this vehicle. As soon as we get the fenders in and the fenders to paint, we're going to do some modifications to the stereo for the inside, which includes modifying or fabricating our own speaker mount for the back speakers, which if you guys haven't known or haven't seen it, we'll show you in a later video. Also, with 4,000 subscribers, she's getting her Gobi roof rack. So if you guys want to help her out, get Gobi roof rack.
Yeah, hit that thumbs up button, please.
Doesn't
and
cost you a
subscribe.
dime except for a subscribe, like, notify.
Oh, and I just want to mention before we cut off, we didn't have a battery tender for the Badlands that was sitting over here for like 80 days or so with no interior. We have one for this one now.
Yeah,
Yay.
we do have a battery tender. Now we ended up getting right here, this one right here. We don't have it plugged in right now because we obviously are working on the vehicle, but when we're not in here working on it, we do have the battery tender connected. Do yourself a favor, if you actually have a vehicle that you're putting into your storage or whatever, get a battery tender. This is, I think I looked online, and I think out of a bunch of different ones, the best battery tenders, this was end up being the one that I chose. I'll leave a comment, or I'll leave a link down below for it, for the battery tender we use.
Yeah.
But that'll
we
keep
got
your
this-
battery.
Yeah, if we got this on Amazon, it'll be in our affiliates link too.
Yeah. This right here actually says it repairs dead batteries as well. I wish I would have had that for the other one. It would have saved me
A lot of
$300. But anyways, you
So
know,
yeah, do yourself a favor, get one.
that's a lot cheaper than a $300 battery. Anyways, you know, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next video. Bye.